Well, the dogs were good, weren't they, on the ferry?
They were
Really?
well behaved, just lay down, and
Yeah.
Bay was up and down a bit, wasn't she?
Yeah, because she was watching the other dogs, wasn't she?
Yeah.
But Nab was brilliant. Didn't really know what you'd be like, Nab, but you were all right, weren't you? You were very good. You just settled under a seat, didn't you? Hey? And we need to talk about last night in bed. What did you think? All right. I bought a weighted blanket because I get fed up of Keith nicking all the duvet off me, so I bought a weighted blanket. And I must admit, I did have some last night.
It's not the biggest, though, is it?
It's not, and that's a king size. So no, it's not the biggest. But it's nice and heavy, isn't it? Feel cocooned. So just seen a signpost for another memorial to the Iolaire. So we thought, well, we better come and have a look. Might not be anything different from really what we've seen so far, but we'll have a look and see. We're up a bit higher, turbines are blowing. A little bit more here about the Iolaire. It's just saying it was a wooden vessel. We ran onto the rocks known as the Donuts?
Beasts.
The what?
Beasts.
Beasts of Holm.
Home.
And it was within sight of the lights of Stornoway. It doesn't really say much more, does it?
No.
Just the vessel was carrying hundreds of Royal Mail. No. The vessel was carrying hundreds of Royal Naval Reserve men who'd been granted leave to visit their loved ones. So 280 men on board and only 79 survived. And this path leads to the headland where subsequent generations have created memorials to the lost. There's the masts. They made quite a big thing of it, which is nice, isn't it?
We have. I suppose there's of the islands. That's where all the stones were, and on that other one.
Yeah.
It's quite a percentage of the community would have been lost. So close to home.
The First World War affected every family on Lewis and Harris. From a population of 35,000, around 7,000 men went away to war. Of these, approximately 3,000 were part of the Royal Naval Reserve, which offered experienced seamen a financial retainer in return for their readiness to serve. By the armistice of 11th of November 1918, more than 1,100 men from Lewis and Harris had given their lives. Proportionately, these were the heaviest losses in the country. And with the war over, men looked forward to returning home on leave. By the 31st of December, over 500 people were waiting at Kyle of Lacalche for passage to Stornoway. HMY Iolaire was sent to Kyle of Lacalche to supplement the regular McBrain service. The Iolaire's crew of 24 were joined by 256 men. And the reason for the tragedy is on approaching Stornoway sometime after midnight, the Iolaire did not navigate correctly, with the result that the ship crashed into the rocks here at Holm in gale force conditions. And as you can see, it's not gale force today, but those turbines are really spinning. Help from the sea proved impossible due to the weather, and life-saving equipment from Stornoway took over 2 hours to arrive. As we said before, only 79 men survived, mostly due to the heroic efforts of John Finlay MacLeod of Ness, who fought his way to shore with a heaving line. The loss of so many lives had a profound impact. With fewer men working, many families faced serious hardships, and the disaster was barely discussed. Here, overlooking the beasts of Holm, this memorial area has been created by successive generations. A cairn of stones was created by in the immediate post-war period, It was recorded by A.J. Nicholson, resident at nearby Home Farm, in a poem of 1928. A formal memorial was created in the immediate post-war period, and it was dedicated in 1960.
And here are the names of the people that lost their lives.
Do you know who Lord of the Isles is now?
No.
Oh, I don't know. It's just this memorial was unveiled by His Royal Highness Prince Charles, Lord of the Isles, on the 1st of January 2019. So I don't know whether William will now be Lord of the Isles or...
I don't know.
We were just saying as we were walking down, weren't we? It was so close to shore when
We were.
when you look at it from here, where it actually hit.
Yes. And so close to home, but so close to the shore. You were surprised that so many lost their lives.
Well, we were saying, weren't we, that, you know, surprising people didn't swim, but a rough seas, it was gales blowing, heavy clothing back then.
Yeah.
And even if you managed to get life jackets on, they're not the life jackets you get today, are they?
No.
I'm glad we saw the sign for this.
Yes.
So while Keith's just taking the dogs for a little walk, we're parked up, and I make a spot of lunch, I'll tell you a little bit more about the islands. Not a lot, but the islands span just over 150 miles from one to the other, or from one to the end. It includes 12 inhabited islands, stretching from Vatersay in the south. Sorry, just checking something. To Lewis in the north. Some are more inhabited than others, depending on the size. Chicken sandwich for lunch with a bit of pork pie. It's only a shop-bought pork pie though, not one from the butcher's, unfortunately. Each island's connected by a causeway, bridge, road, or ferry. And we'll be going on some more ferries between some of the islands before we get the main ferry back to Oban later on. A couple of weeks away. So it offers journeys throughout the islands in totally unique positions. I think it's a truly unique experience, in fact. The causeways aren't tidal, so they're always open. But they do occasionally close if there's a bad storm. So yeah, we've got some chicken bought from Aldi. Bought by from Aldi, but once we get more on the trek, we'll be buying local, like we always prefer to do. And a nice cup of tea. Lunch is served. Chicken sandwich and a bit of pork pie. That'll do us. Bay's definitely on her holidays now. She's climbed. She's happy. She's had a paddle, just in a bit of a stream. And now she's climbed. We're at Trumpenhead Lighthouse. We've taken you to lighthouses before. And this is one of over 200 that are located around the Scotland's wild coastline. Operated and maintained by the Northern Lighthouse Board, they warn ships of dangerous waters and provide safe passage. So Trumpin Head Lighthouse marks the western limit of the Minch. And Keith mentioned the Minch in the last video. And it was designed by David and Charles Stevenson. And it was first lit in December 1900. And it became automated in 1985. Now, I don't know whether you can see, but over there, that little dot, you'll have seen that in the video last week in Stornoway. That's that three-masted schooner. But it is way in the distance, so you might not see it clearly from here. And this head, Trumpin Head, is one of the best places in Scotland for whale watching. And there is a chap over there who's had cameras and binoculars and telescopes out when we arrived looking. We won't be that lucky, I'm sure. But quite often you see minke and humpback whales here, as well as dolphins and porpoises. And what's the porpoise? Oh,
the old ones are always the best.
You certainly are. You certainly are. So the lighthouse stands 21 metres high and 55 metres above sea level. And it's built on the Eye Peninsula. In 1956, Her Majesty the Queen with Prince Charles and Princess Anne visited the lighthouse, and the 7-year-old heir to the throne, now king, sounded the first blast of the new fog siren. And in 1993, Princess Anne, of course the Princess Royal now, she became patron of the Northern Lighthouse Board. So, just a little bit about Trumpin Head. Not a bad view from up here though, is it? Nice and wild on a stormy night. I'd like to see that. It's gone very peaceful. Quite calm out there now. Before, it looked like it was going to start a storm. The sky went really black. That's cleared. Might be in for a calm night. Oh, we're just talking to a chap up at the lighthouse who'd been whale watching, and he says he was here a few days ago and there were a load of minkies just playing there in the bay. He said they were there for ages. Quite a pod of them. We won't be that lucky. We never are. You might be wondering where Keith's gone. He's just gone with the dogs to pick up a geocache. While I just have a look around. You see, we're driving along the side of a runway, which is the runway for Stornoway Airport, which we're just coming up to now. Not the biggest airport in the world, but not the smallest we'll see on this trip. In the 1930s and 1940s, the initial plans for Stornoway Airport involved developing grass runways on Melbost golf links. The site was identified in the early 30s as a possible airfield site. However, development delays and the outbreak of World War II led to the airfield being acquired by the Air Ministry. During World War II, the Royal Air Force established RAF Stornoway, using the airfield for various military operations, including anti-submarine patrols and convoy escort. After the war, the airfield continued to be a military base, serving as a NATO forward operating base from 1972 until 1998. It's quite a busy airport with parking, doesn't it? During the Cold War, the airfield was home to 112 Signals Unit, Stornoway, RAF, and was used for military operations and missions over the North Atlantic and for stopovers en route to Greenland and the United States. Following the closure of RAF Stornoway in 1998, the site was sold to the Western Isles Council and reverted to civilian use, becoming Stornoway Airport again. Stornoway Airport is a vital transport hub, connecting the Outer Hebrides to the mainland with regular flights to destinations like Edinburgh, Glasgow, Inverness, Manchester and Southampton.
It's a strange
Mixture, isn't it?
There's a lot of old military.
Yeah,
buildings, isn't there?
Well, I'm just reading here. It says they have repurposed a lot of the military buildings. Some are just left derelict, and others have been demolished. The airport is also used for crosswind training of large jets, including the Airbus A350, as well as for private light aircraft operations.
We've just seen quite a big jet going out, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
To Glasgow when we looked on flight radar. But it's it is a long runway.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if the Airbus, if they're using that for crosswind training, the Airbus 350 is quite a big plane, isn't it? This looks like military that's been repurposed and done up, doesn't it? So I don't think we're going to see a plane taking off here from here. There's another going back out. There's no cafe here. Keith's disappointed. He wants a cafe. And one more thing about the airport. On the 8th of December 1983, a Cessna Citation 1 with the registrations G, which is the British registration, and UESS, so guess, crashed into the sea on approach to Stornoway Airport, killing all 10 passengers and crew. Don't remember ever hearing about that on the news.
No.
Well, I don't think, apart from Christmas Day, I've ever spent such a quiet day on the roads. It's been really nice, hasn't it, actually?
It has. No shops to just go in and browse.
No.
Everything's shut.
We went in for a coffee this morning, thinking it was a coffee shop, but it was actually a hotel, so they were just serving their breakfast, so we went in there for a coffee, but absolutely nowhere open. And it's been really, really nice. I mean, we've often said, haven't we, that wouldn't it be nice to go back to the times when Sunday was just a day of rest and relaxation, and not thinking you can just nip to a shop. So it has been nice. I don't think we'll see it in many other places. And as we move further down the islands, I don't think we'll see it on the next Sunday that we're in the Hebrides, because it is basically
in a quarter of a mile, turn left onto School Road.
Now, I've told her not to interrupt us on this trip. I don't think they're quite as religious on some of the other islands, so I'm presuming stuff will be open. Anyway, we're just heading to the next destination now to see what's there. A beach. Yeah, hopefully. Might be able to fly a kite.
Turn left onto School Road.
It's amazing though the number of churches we've seen, isn't it? All within very short distances of each other.
Yeah.
Wow, that's blue down there.
It is. Turquoisey blue.
Yeah. I was reading about this Sunday thing and shops closing and even bars and pubs not being open, although they used to apparently sneak people into the back door or
For a lock-in.
have a lock-in that way, or even lock people in on a Saturday night and they'd have to stay on the Sunday. But I was also reading that it was frowned upon to even watch television on a Sunday or hang your washing out if it was a nice day. Even that was frowned upon by some of the older generations. I think Bay's going to be in her element at this next stop. And that's where we're heading.